Is this the best dinner on the Seven Seas Lagoon?
Princess Bear, today we're at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort because a grand update has happened.
We're going to Narcoossee's for dinner.
Yes, one of our favorite restaurants has updated their menu, so as your number one choice of foodie infotainment, we're here to try the food because we want to, and also so you don't have to, because she's vegan. I'm not. Time to go nom on some koozies.
It's time to foodie and chill. I love this bread, but I'm also scared of this bread because it's very messy and they don't do crumbers here anymore. That seems to be a California Grill exclusive now. But I do love this bread. It's always nice and warm. It is surprising to me that in all these years, Narcoossee's has never managed to get earth balance in the building. It's always olive oil. And then it is cut into fourths, but this is like one of those where they just like barely cut it and then you make a huge mess. This is why I'm doing it over the basket. So then the basket gets all the crumbs instead of the table. Let's go ahead and try this bread. Eating this bread makes me wish that Narcoossee's was open for breakfast because I would love an avocado toast with that sourdough. And it's got this beautiful crisp to it. It's so bouncy and light and airy and lovely. I'm here for it. It is a 5 out of 5. It is the best breads. It just needs earth balance. Come on, chef. Let's get earth balance. I don't want oil. I don't want oil.
Nice, crispy sourdough, house-made, fresh. Grand Floridian is the one place out of all the other Disney hotels. If there's anything that comes from a bakery, bread, pastries, otherwise, gonna be top tier every time. Their consistency isn't just like, oh, they're always gonna be good. Like, it's almost a guarantee, like without fail. And this only furthers that legacy. It's amazing to us how far Narcoossee has come. There would be a time, way back in the day, pre-press panini, you couldn't get us to come in this restaurant, or you would not come. Did not enjoy it, did not have a good time. Now, it's literally one of our top 3 favorite restaurants on property. And this bread is a lot of reason why we keep coming back here. The princess will try to negotiate a visit this restaurant just for the bread. Apps and bread. And then maybe dessert, or maybe just apps, bread, cocktail. And honestly, there's a reason why. It is the most like, let's hit all the classic points bread service of any like table bread service, but it's like perfect every time. 4.75 out of 5 quality. That level of consistently good sourdough that it's just like, accept no substitutes.
My favorite, well, I wouldn't call it my favorite, but the delicious melon salad that they used to have here that I think I got the last time that we came here, if not the last time, the time before that, is gone and replaced with a Greek salad. Now, this Greek salad has some beautiful marinated tomatoes, pickled onions, cucumbers, these gorgeous crackers. And then also, it typically comes with a mint yogurt and feta cheese. But I had that omitted so that it could be made vegan. Very simple to be made vegan, just omit those 2 things, and it is. And look at how pretty it is. And it smells like fennel. It smells like fennel so hard. I am excited to get in on it. So actually, I'm going to take a small cracker. I'm going to grab a cucumber. This pickled onion is huge. I'm a little scared of that, but let's go. With the fennel, maybe it'll be intense. It's almost like they used the melon ball things that they had with the melon salad, and they just made it into this. Double fisting a bite, because I commit to my mistakes. Wow. That is amazing. Now, typically, I'm not a huge fan of fennel because it is a very overpowering herb. It can just take over a dish. But this fennel is used so perfectly. It's very thoughtful. They probably grabbed it from the garden in the front of the restaurant, which if you didn't know or you just walked by, the whole section when you walk into the restaurant is garden of herbs. And they use those herbs here in this restaurant. So we're living with the land here. And this is an incredible Greek salad. There is a Mediterranean salad over at Wilderness Lodge at Roaring Fork. Their quick service. It tastes very much like this, except they have vegan feta over there. the fact that this is able to capture everything that I need in a Greek salad, Mediterranean salad, whatever, to feel that like wholeness, like I feel at Roaring Fork, which is, by the way, my favorite salad at Disney World. It feels like I didn't omit anything. It is a perfectly balanced salad. It is so delicious, and fennel's not overpowering, though I do taste it in the back end. Incredible. I can gush about this salad for hours. I will give it a 5 out of 5. It is a Princessities item. This is more than a salad. This is an experience. This is like eating like salad tartare, without, I guess like a salad tartare for a giant.
This wonderful Horiatiki salad. In typical fashion for most things at Narcoossee, this thing is a work of art. You have these like hand marinated tomatoes they prepare by hand, and then these bits of like pickled onion and this smell. I usually hate fennel, but the smell radiating from this dish with the fennel and the tomatoes sounds amazing. It's almost like a deconstructed dip almost, because you have these chips on top as well as the tomatoes and everything else, and it makes you just want to dive right in. Like, I probably even shouldn't eat the onions, but I want to just eat one whole. I'm not going to do that, but the intrusive foodie thoughts definitely have me wanting to try it. I definitely want to. Is that the green thing? The cucumber?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was fruit. I guess technically it's fruit, but look at that. It really feels like chips and dip, but a salad. Whew. That is an herbaceous bomb, because that literally like hangs in your mouth. It's given. There's a dish this reminds me of. It's not a dip. It's sort of like the way that it hangs in your mouth is almost like a thin, like Mediterranean, like chimichurri almost, but a little bit lighter. It's like herb forward, but not overpowering. I don't feel like I need to like wash it down, but it's like a nice, like herby flavor. I love the cucumbers. I love the tomatoes, the way that those just pop. I'm one of those people that will eat tomatoes like out of the container, just washed. This salad, you love like a tomato salad, this is everything. Actually, I think that's what it reminds me of. A tomato salad from Sanaa. It's very similar, but very much of Narcoossee's. This is an excellent dish, even with like modifying it to remove the feta and the mint yogurt. The flavors are so much they stand on their own. That would just be like a very nice side piece. 4.75 out of 5 claws. The menu here at Narcoossee is often like, make something great and then make it better to leave your people guessing. And some of the dishes, while they sound out there, are some of the most fantastical and whimsy compilations of dishes that we've seen across Walt Disney World, which is why we keep coming back here literally every time the menu changes. This is their beef brisket tortelloni. So you have these beef brisket tortellonis. You have Sultana raisins in here as well in the sauce. And then look at that, just a beautiful like 3 tortellini appetizer. And honestly, tortelloni appetizer, I just want to cut one open. I want to see what's inside. See some of that brisket innards. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Perfecto. Look at that. You can see the brisket innards in there with the sauce. Looks amazing. Then we're gonna give it a little top here. All in bite. Okay. Foodie toupee. Yeah, tortelloni really stands on its own. It's very rich, given the beef brisket, but it's balanced out by that brown butter sauce that sort of like lightens it up a bit, but you're still getting that strong punch of flavor. The tortelloni is excellent, not raw at some other places that should be nameless, but it is a very punchy dish. If you're looking for something to whet your savory appetite, or you just want like a small taste of savory, this is definitely the dish. You're not getting like half-filled tortelloni like that. It's definitely something that's punchy and punching way above its weight class. I would give that 4.5 out of 5 claws. When we say we love our cast members, we very mean it. So when they make a recommendation of something, either a food item, a beverage, or even just a way to eat something, we're literally all ears. Recommendation was to take the bread, the sourdough, and use that to sop up the sauce left over from the beef brisket tortelloni. This is a brown butter sauce. A little bit of cream in there. Look at that. Yeah. It reminds me of like dipping bread in like a steak jus, like a jus from like a steak sandwich, like a French dip, sort of like that, but with just bread. That is amazing because you're getting like the hints of the beef, but then the brown butter soaked in the sourdough. Mind-numbing. That is 4.75 out of 5 claws for a food hack. Always dip the bread.
The mushroom and potato cannelloni, I am calling the Italian tamale because look at this. 3 gorgeous tamales with a beautiful sauce and beautiful tomatoes that I hope are marinated the same way as my gorgeous salad because, oh my gosh, I'm going to dream about that salad for some days. Now, they do have the mushrooms on top. It's like the mushrooms you get in all the signature dining restaurants, I feel. So let's go in here. I'm going to get a little bitey bite. I'm going to get a tomato up in here. You're not going to be able to see a lot, but you will see a lot later, I promise you. To new things, I'm going to miss the paella, but because it was a unique paella compared to like the arroz that you could get at Haleo. But I'm always in for new things, and I do feel like Narcoossee's is a signature dining restaurant that doesn't change their menu very often. So it's really nice when they do. I feel like more signature dining restaurants change their menu more often than Narcoossee's does. We need to change that. It is very herbaceous. It does not taste like what I expected it to taste like. It's very delicious. It is not overpowering in mushroom or potato. And the sauce is very light as well. So this kind of tastes like a summer dish. It's just very light and airy, but also filled with flavor. The tomato is seasoned perfectly. Everything is gorgeous on this dish. I love this. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. It is a Princess Days item. I am not going to miss the paella, though it was a delicious dish. I think this is an excellent replacement. And I think I'm going to be bugging Bear to come back to Narcoossee's a little bit more than I did before. He's not going to like it, but I'm still going to do it.
Part of being a foodie, a true foodie, is exploring things that you would normally eat or expanding your palate. You know, you don't know everything. We don't know everything. We don't even attempt to. We're learning as we go with a lot of these things. We learn a lot of things from trying them. We learn them from chefs, we learn them from cast members. We learn them from just hanging out at the resorts, different cooking techniques, all these things like we enjoy more than not more than, but just as much as the food because it lets us take some experience with us, learn different cultures, take this stuff home. Foodie inclusion is something that we preach here, very much so. So seeing this take on pasta even is excellent. I've never seen something cooked like this. If you're looking at it, yes, these are just gigantic pasta. Think like massive ravioli noodles almost, like rolled with the potato filling and mushrooms as well. And this herb sauce with these little toy box tomatoes on the side as well. This looks wonderfully filled and delicious. Me and the princess were reminiscing back when, way back, so forever ago, I used to make her manicotti, or attempt to. My manicotti did not look like this. It was ugly, stuff leaking out the sides, barely held together. I was proud of that manicotti, okay? As ugly as it was, but this is a very similar thing. You have a nice packed filling inside each noodle. The potato was soaking up all the herbs, and then you have the mushroom. Unlike most mushrooms, you're not getting like that. It's not a super earthy flavor, so it's just like much more like tender in the texture of it inside. So it combines the filling of the potato without feeling like you're eating dirt. I know we joke about calling mushrooms dirt rooms because they do provide like a more earthy flavor for a dish. But here, especially because of the sauce and the herbs, it's kept very light. So you get a lot to chew on, like something meaty, but not something that's going to make you feel like you just licked your grandmother's vegetable garden. It is, for what it looks like, very filling. Like each bite sits, I wouldn't say heavy, but like medium. You're going to be full after this. Honestly, I feel like in a lot of cases, a lot of the plant-based dishes have been equal size, if not larger, when we come here. But even just a touch of class and a touch of like artistry in this dish, we love. I adore this. I'm actually kind of jealous I didn't order it. I give this a 4.5 out of 5 claws. Now we come to the bear portion. This is grilled pork chop. Now this is updated on the menu. Previously it was a fig glazed pork chop. Now it is a plum glazed pork chop. And then on top you have this mint chimichurri. And then it's served with Swiss chard, golden beets, and some roasted plums to go along with that plum glaze. Now it's cooked medium, chef's choice. I always get the pork chef's choice, but you can order it to whatever temperature that you like. But like, it's so well glazed that it almost looks like candy when you cut it. If you told me that this was like one of those cake or not cake videos, I would be convinced. I'd be convinced. I love the unique way that pork especially interacts with like sweet flavors. You frequently see pork paired with like a fruit glaze or fruit of some sort, like sweeter flavors, be it like sweet potato, plum, fig, cherry glaze, things like that to bring out the flavor. And this glaze really here works because of the way that it's glazed and then grilled. It doesn't come off as like a candied flavor. You just get a light taste of like that plum sweetness on top of a very savory, very juicy pork chop, which is excellent. I think that this is a good substitute because one of the things that did change on the menu is that the New York strip is gone. Now you do still have surf and turf where you get the filet mignon, the 7 ounce here, but that's your only steak option, so no more New York strip. I think this is just as juicy and tender, and for those of you willing to step outside the boundaries, I think that this is a much better choice than a New York strip would have been. It's kind of like everyday. This feels more unique to Narcoossee's given the flavors and things that they do. The pork chop, the way that it's glazed right now with that mint chimichurri, I'm giving that a 4.25 out of 5 claws. Now, I want to try it with the Swiss chard and these roasted plums over here. So the green stuff is a Swiss chard. It's just like a leafy green. And then this really, really blackened thing here, as you can see, is the beet. And then, the plum is here. And then this is the golden beet. Now, beets are an acquired flavor that I've only acquired eating here at Walt Disney World. Before, I wouldn't touch these things with a 10-foot pole. Now, I dream of them. I can't live without them. Now, I never cook them at home because they're a pain. But here at Disney, I'm eating them all. Picking mine, picking the princess if she has any. Look at that. Colorful fork. That feels like I stole a woodland elf's dinner. And he's probably still chasing me to this day. He ain't gonna catch me though. Not with flavors like that. It was worth it. 4.5 out of 5 claws. This is an excellent dish. I had concerns because plum, it can go kind of wrong sometimes. You know, you approach candy sometimes with plum flavors. Not this. I give it, all in all, 4.5 out of 5 claws. New menu at Narcoossee's means more beverages. Their drink menu here is top tier, set up by our friend, channel friend Chris, and then even further developed by the management here. So seeing new things pop in and out is always amazing, and I always find something that I either haven't had or something new I want to try, because I want to expand my Disney adult palate. And how do I do that? With copious amounts of alcohol and fancy drinks. So now we have this key lime martini that the server recommended. This is her absolute favorite. We have toasted meringue on top, vodka, and then there is a vanilla cream in here as well as like key lime syrup. They describe it as a dessert in a glass. Well, probably the only kind of dessert that I want to eat. I need a set of Florida-approved board shorts, a pet alligator on a leash, some flippy floppies, and maybe a very wide brim hat, because I feel extra Floridian. If Popeye had a can of spinach, then this is my can of spinach. Because I could rescue an iguana from a pack of other iguanas. I'm not really sure. That is a tasty. It's very tart and it's very sweet. But if like you are somebody that's like you avoid the taste of alcohol, but you want to like challenge your palate, I would definitely go with the key lime martini. Give that 4.5 out of 5 claws. So another recent-ish addition to the menu here is the bee's knees. They've been running into a lot of bee's knees around Walt Disney World property. I'm always intrigued to how each different bar, lounge, restaurant does it because everybody has their own unique sort of take on it. You have this one here with a nice layer of foam, and you have the honeycomb as the little accoutrement. It looks wonderful. Does it taste wonderful though? Ooh. That sends a pleasant level of tart chills down my spine. That gin, it gives it like a drinks like a honey infused lemonade, like a refresher almost, but like very like subtle tart, not overwhelming your mouth puckering, but just enough to you feel that and more than just your mouth. Very subtle, it's very light. If you told me that somehow that with the care they put in this dish, that they inscribed the entire script of the Bee Movie in the foam, I'm so enamored that I'd probably believe you, but that is a tasty cocktail. It may be the bee's knees, but it'll probably bring me to my knees. 4.25 out of 5 claws. Narcoossee's has done it again as if we were even surprised.
We absolutely love this meal, and Bear and I were discussing whether or not we like it more than California Grill. And that is it's really hard because we love the view here. We think Bear definitely feels like this is more Florida.
Yes, most
of course,
definitely.
California Grill is not supposed to be Florida. But I guess we got the California and then we have Florida on this side. So Princess and the Bear?
Fair enough. Logic works. To me, this just feels more relaxed. Contemporary, while I do love that resort, it feels a little bit more stuffy. But honestly, this is the only part of Grand Floridian I like. The second I step out of Narcoossee's, I want to leave.
Yeah, I mean, we love Citricos. Citricos is amazing. We love the cast members there specifically. That's our favorite thing about Citricos. Bear does not like me advocating for Victoria and Albert's. We've only gone twice, and I'd like to go more, but see, he's already saying no.
My body can't handle another 5-hour meal.
I've been asking for 1900 Park Fare, so have you guys, but Bear's not into eating. I mean, it is a lot for him. He has to eat the whole menu at 1900 Park Fare, so he's not as into that. Grand Floridian Cafe is not that great for dinner, but pretty decent for breakfast.
I'll do a brunch
so
there.
maybe you'll do a brunch. So, like, I guess if we're just talking about dinner, this is your favorite place at Grand Floridian for dinner.
Yeah. But we know what you guys think about Narcoossee's. This is a place that's going to make your reservation list. Let us know in the comments below.
Wait, but there's one more thing we have to do.
Oh, yes.
Because
I'm always forgetting.
We did not get dessert. And there's a reason why we did not get dessert. So let's go and take you to the place.
Same place.
So we've moved. Now, if you caught our last video, we did do dessert over at Narcoossee's with the new coconut mango tart, and then Bear got the banana bread pudding thing, whatever it was, chocolate pudding. That's the most popular dessert, still the most popular dessert. But I have one other dessert that I have in mind a little bit more. Should we turn around, Bear?
The tart has called her back.
You want to just do a little turn?
Little spin.
Just a little turn so people can see where we are?
The same place, but a couple steps away.
It's Gasparilla. So let's gasp into some desserts. So the days run together. I think it was yesterday that we went to Riviera Resort. Yes, Bear is nodding yes. It is May 14th, we have been home only 3 days this month. Every other day, we have been out doing food reviews. So the days kind of run together sometimes. When we went to Primo Piatto yesterday, as Bear is confirming for me, I had the strawberry stuffed brioche, and I kept comparing it to this gorgeous raspberry cake, and I called it a raspberry cake too because I kept thinking about her. This dessert is better than the one that I have that is available at Narcoossee's currently. We did try that one when it did change, and you can go look at that review. There'll be a link somewhere around here. But this one reminds me of the afternoon tea, and I just had to have it again. I've been thinking about this one for a while. Cut it. I didn't cut it last time. I just kind of took a bite because I was scared of it. But now that I've had it and I know what it is, I don't know why it's taking so much force to cut. It's like a tree. Ugh, this worries me now. But it is the Grand Floridian Bakery, so oof. I'm gonna cut this piece that I cut in half because this is getting a little hard. Okay. Well, will I commit to this mistake? Now I feel like I'm making a mistake. All right. Thank you, Bear. Thank you for the assist. Ugh. The sponge on this one is not as moist as the one before. And I would say the strawberry, or not strawberry, I'm thinking of the Riviera Resort now when I should be thinking about this. I called Riviera raspberry and this strawberry, but it's vice versa. This is the raspberry coconut cake. And this one is less raspberry than the last one that I had. The coconut is a little bit more prominent in this one, but it is not at the point where, like, I'm not going to eat it. But I can taste the coconut. It's just not enough to, like, gross me out. I love the frosting. The frosting is amazing. But I don't know if it's because we came a little bit later than the last time that we had this or what, but the cake is hard. The cake is like it just came out of the freezer and hasn't fully defrosted hard, and it's not as good as I expected it to be. It is still better than Narcoossee's dessert, and we went up to Citrus Coast to see some of our favorite cast members up there too, and it was not as good as the Citrus Coast dessert either. So. Oh, wait, what am I saying? It's better than the Citrus Coast dessert because that one's like a praline or whatever. And then the one at Narcoossee's coconut mango. So this is still the best one, but I don't know. It's not as good as it was before. I will give it a 3 out of 5 cakes. It's a decent cake.
Return of the cake. Coconut cake with raspberry. Now this one is definitely, I wouldn't say it's been sitting, but it's definitely... Look
at that.
It is, I guess I'll figure it out when I taste it. Get a little bit of raspberry in here. It is still a consistent flavor. It's exactly the flavor I remember. It's just denser. I don't know if that's because it's colder or because it's been sitting longer. I can't really tell. It doesn't taste like stale or anything. It's just more dense, less light and fluffy than it was the first time we tried it. But I still like it. It's still very much cake. The coconut's not super strong. Raspberry balances everything out. Everything we loved about it is still there, except for the density and the lightness of it. 3.75 out of 5 claws. The Gasparilla Grand Floridian Signature Custom Signature Park Chocolate Cookie. This massive, not yet Gideon sized cookie is a brand new dessert we missed here the other day. And when he asked the cashier about it, how she liked it, because she says it's her favorite cookie here, and asked how many times she's had it, she simply replied with yes, which I feel was the correct answer. You see, there's chocolate, right? And there's chocolate. And then there's chocolate. Then there's me. Then there's Sterling K. Brown. Okay? Janet Jackson. Obama. Michelle Obama. And then chocolate. Right?
Denzel?
Denzel is like
Samuel
peak chocolate.
Jackson?
On a good day, he's like chocolate. He's like equal to Denzel. But this is chocolate. Half an Obama, more chocolate. Cookie. That much chocolate. Way more chocolate. I'm not complaining. That is peak chocolate, is what I'm trying to say. To be proud. I know that cookie density is the preference thing. Some people like their cookies crisp. Some of them like them soft. I'm more in the soft boat. This is my kind of cookie. This thing is going to disappear. In a second, the princess is going to be like, what cookie? And this plate will be empty. I might even lick it once or twice. I'll give this 4.5 out of 5 claws.
You're going to lick it, but it's only 4.5?
Yep. Desserts have been had. Food has been eaten. Nars have been coozed. Gas grill has been grasped.
Yes.
I'm feeling grand.
I'm also feeling grand. So grand that we should come back and do more grand things.
We do grand things every day. We're Princess and the Bear.
We're foreshadowing.
Is that what it is?
Yes. I'm foreshadowing.
I don't know what you guys think. I know, obviously, we could have got some really fancy desserts, but sometimes you just want, like, the regular, simple desserts.
I don't know. Did you like the desserts in Narcoossee's last time we went?
No.
No?
I
Did you
mean,
like, I mean, the bread...
The chocolate, like, bread pudding thing was
Yeah.
nice. Obviously, I couldn't have the mango thing, or at least I was missing...
You had the coconut.
I was missing a component of it, and I didn't love coconut with nothing else added to it.
Me neither.
But, you know, we have options. This is Disneyland.
And I will say at 6 o'clock, there was nobody in the tea room. But at 5 o'clock, half the tea room was full. So, or afternoon tea, yes. So if you want a good dessert, good meal, and you get to book the tea room, and you get at 3 o'clock, don't worry, you can sit till 5. We've been here at 5 o'clock twice now, and the tea room has been full. So enjoy all the desserts wherever you can, whether it's the tea room, Citricos, Victoria and Albert's, Narcoossee's, Gasparilla Grill, or anywhere else around the Magic Kingdom.
I want to shout out to everybody that stopped and said hello tonight.
Yes.
Shout out to the cast members.
All the cast
Gallo
members.
and
We love all of them.
Bill and Katrina and Armand and
Chef Danny.
Chef Ty, Chef Joe. It was an amazing time hanging out here at Grand Floridian. Obviously, when things change, we'll be back again. But we know what you guys think about the items we tried tonight. Let us know in the comments below. As always, if there's anything else you'd like to see us do, that will always be the place to find us. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this. And
We have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
we will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, well, where is Bear going to eat himself? We've already established he's a water bear. So is he just going to water to the castle? Can you see the castle? It's like a little baby. It's a little baby castle. Right here.
Looks like California to me. I'm going to eat myself to the couch. But you heard the girl. Grand Floridian Bakery signature